One thing that separates me from everybody else in the promo world is my ability. That's bad lighting. Bad lighting. Oh. It's not going to get no better. One thing that separates one thing that separates me from everybody else in the promo world is my ability to keep things real. It's to keep it authentic. Anyone's natural reaction to Scotty Mac's last promo, and if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go see that first because it's become a big deal. More on that later. Any natural reaction to seeing that promo would be, oh, you're wrong, and let me tell you where you're wrong. The problem is, Scotty Mac is right about a lot of things. He's right about a lot of things. He's half right about some things. And there's one thing that you said that you're dead ass wrong about. Damn it. Damn it. You know what? This is going to be a good ending. This is going to be a good ending. Oh, yeah. That's kind of dope. Yeah, I fucked my face up. I'm sleeping on that side. You know, the average person's reaction to Scotty Mac's promo, and if you haven't seen it, you should go back and watch it because it's become a pretty big deal. More on that later. But the natural reaction to his promo would be for me to come out and go, oh, he's so wrong. Everything he said was wrong. And point by point, spin my side to show you how wrong he was. But the truth of the matter is, Scotty Mac was right about a lot of things that he said. It's a lot of things that he said he was right about. A lot of things that anyone can look at me and see that he was right about. But there's one thing he was dead ass wrong about. And I'll get to that. Scotty, my job for a long time has been to groom and break and make and nurture stars. People that I identify as being stars, I try to bring out the best in them. And whatever they need, I'm there for. If they need a villain, I'll be the heel. If they need a face, I'll be the face. If they need a spanking, I come with the belt. If they need the opportunity, I step aside. Winning and losing a promo series is so far beneath me. So far beneath me that it's ridiculous. Everybody needs different nurturing. Some kids need to touch the stove. Sinless, I let him touch the stove. I tell him the stove is hot, he touches it, he does. Whatever. Stars like Fucker. Fucker had to learn the hard way the difference between OOC and IC. And when not to show up on whose podcast in character when people are out of character. She's never been this part of the business before. And then people who couldn't fuck with her stylistically used that opportunity of vulnerability to come for her. And she had to learn how to navigate her way through that. She had some rough series, and she had to navigate her way through that. Position she had never been in before, and she's come through it stronger. As the best do. You need something different. You need to know your limitations. And I'm here to help you find it. Now, Arn Anderson once said when Barry Windham came into the business, he knew what to do, he knew how to move, he knew how to act, he knew how to talk, he knew how to wrestle, he fit in, he was great. There's only a few stars I've ever seen in this business do that. The first one that comes to mind is Jason Palmer. You don't know him. I know him as the Park. First ever E-League World Heavyweight Champion. Park came into this business dropping a meme. I don't remember what the meme was, but I remember when he dropped it, everybody goes, oh, this guy's going to get it. They don't know that he had been going through promo boot camp with myself and Black GOP for years before that happened. But when he came into this business, he knew what to do. He knew how to move. Cruel Intentions. Cruel Intentions came into this business. He knew what his limitations were, and he knew how to move. And then, lo and behold, he moved on, and he started spreading, and his limitations started shrinking, and you see what he's become. Versatility. Showtime. Showtime needed to know administratively what it was. So he asked me one day, hey, do you mind if I go and, do other stuff? Other owners of other E feds would have been like, no, you're exclusive to us. I said, no, go please. And he came back a better admin. He came back going, yo, you get out into the world, it's crazy. I love this place. But what he doesn't know is that he came back here better. Why am I telling you these things? Because this is just a portion of what I have to deal with being the top star in the history of this business. You say, yo, you talk about all these things that you had going on. I'm telling you that for a reason. And you're not getting the reason. So let me talk about how it pertains to you. When I talk about my feuds with Joker J at his peak, at Jillian, feuds with Jillian at her peak, feuds with your partner, Jay O'Neal at his peak, Omni at his peak, Mike Brown at his peak, Brandon Moore at his peak. When I talk about leaving there, going to LUW, Eddie Cross, 1,674 days. And no, I'll tell you how I did that in a second, okay? I'll tell you how I'm looking you in the eye, and I'll tell you how that happened. When I talk about Eddie Cross, Rod Dunn, Higher Gun, when I talk about Player One, when I talk about Seven Wisdom, when I talk about Rio, who's someone you'll get to know very soon. When I talk about these people and having to feud with them in their peak, it's because it's all right here. When I talk about going to WCC and having to feud with Chris Dillsworth and Ziggy Cobain and Mega and Beast Mode and Thirsty Jack, I remembered his name this time, and grooming Mel Walker at the same time, and destroying Dylan James at the same time, crushing his E-Fed without stepping into it. That's what being the top star in the business is. When I talk about going to WGG and going against George Cross, the most decorated person in the history of E-Feds, arguably, and getting my ass whooped over and over and over and over until I can finally get a victory against him. That's what being the biggest star in the history of E-Feds is. When I talk about coming to PWR and having to go ass to mouth, along with Tori, along with Johnny Rudo. Oh my God. That's just a day in the life of the Horseman for me. And let me tell you what you were dead wrong about. I don't use no notes. Nothing around my leg. Nothing anywhere. It's all up here. You got me fucked up right there. Am I vulnerable? No, I'm tired because I've been carrying The sport of e-feds. I'm tired. I'm tired. So when someone comes along and says they want to dethrone me, I'm not going to let them do it. But God, if they could do it and still be around, I could rest. I could sleep. But I don't know if that's you, Scotty. Because when you come into the E-League and you talk about having me on the ropes in the E-Fed, having me on the ropes in this promo battle, I don't know. Do you ever think that maybe you're right where I want you to be? Being groomed. Not just anybody can do it. You're special. You're fucking special. I knew that from day one. You say I'm part of the reason you're like this. I knew you were special. I tried to tell these other feds, like, this guy is special. But here's the thing. When you start talking about becoming the E-League World Heavyweight Champion in a league with cruel intentions, in a league with motherfucker who's been the best superstar in this company, and in a fed with Showtime, who was one of the few people who ever pushes me, okay? In a fed with Omni, in a fed with Bad Moon Pat Legend, Sigma Male. You talk about Alpha. You talk about being in the Fed with all those people, Brandon Moore in the summertime, and you want to be world champion? When you say that, those people take note. And when you say that, and then you're not here in 3 months, you were just talking. You lose credibility. So when I tell people that Scotty Mack is the guy, they're going to be like, the guy who said he was going to be champion, and then he lost to you in Silas and he disappeared? I know you're here as a favor to me. I needed you. I'm losing stars. Let's put the shit on the table. Let's put the shit on the table. We're going through a bad period. We're down to our lowest roster that we've ever been at. We're at like 17 active people. That's 18 active people. That's low. That's low. And I'm grateful for what you have come in here and done. But when you say you want to be E-League World Champion, you're going to be E-League World Champion, it would be great if you say you're going to come in and win this tournament and then leave. That would be awesome, because that's what's going to happen. But when you start saying these things and you make these promises, you talk about these things that you're going to do, people expect you to deliver. And when you don't deliver, you lose credibility. And that's something I'm trying to teach you, because no one's going to care that you're running PWR. No one's going to care that you're on loan to WCC. No one's going to care about your work in the eFed network. No one's going to care about your work in the Tony Baloney podcast. No one's going to care about any of that. I see how hard you work. Omni sees how hard you work. Showtime sees how hard you work. But the vast majority, they don't care. They don't care. You're going to be that guy who said that shit, he was going to dethrone her, and then he was gone. It's not what I want for you. Mean what you say what you mean. Leave out all that other shit in between. So, in your first promo, you pulled out a bunch of money. You told me to have a great time. So, because here's the thing, man. If I could re-sign you to a long-term deal in the E-League, I would gladly go back in the poorhouse. So, I don't have a lot, because I'm still kind of broke. So, you take all this and park that note shit somewhere else. Park that shit up the street. You got me fucked all the way up. Vulnerable? Maybe. But I ain't got no notes. Sure, before each promo, I asked Siri how long it's been since Eddie Cross ran from me. And I remember that, you know what I'm saying? But there ain't no fucking notes. You got me all fucked up. No, seriously, I'll show you. This nigga said notes. I know, but I have to get through this. I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to get back on track. Oh, that's way too long. We gonna cut. Oh, the first couple of minutes, we'll cut some time off of that, baby.